Hi there guys, I'm Dominic King, the Ostomy Coach. This is my second video now on the YouTube channel, so we're still early days. Still early days for me as an online coach. I've been a martial arts coach for many years. I've been a mindset coach. I've worked one-to-one with people over a good number of years, and this is long overdue. Now, if you've listened to my my last video, which is called My Story, I give you some details on me and like, you know, part of my story from a martial arts athlete, judo athlete, looking to go to an Olympic Games, to obviously the struggles I had with ulcerative colitis, which then obviously turned into an ileostomy that I had for a good couple of years, and now I've got a Jpouche. So that was my story, and that kind of, you know, I didn't actually mention the full story. I did get back after that. I did compete again. I did win some decent competitions. I did even beat an Olympian. So once you've had those issues, it doesn't mean that your life's over. You know, it's just the start, really. And I want people to know that there is life after surgery. The idea of this channel really is for me to encourage people. But it's also for me to tell you exactly who I am, what I am, and why we're here. Okay, now, if you go on Instagram and you look up people a bit like me, if you put in ileostomy, you put in Crohn's, you put in Jpouches, you tend to see on Instagram, you tend to see a lot of quite inspirational people who are trying to promote awareness for, you know, the sorts of things that some of us have got and some of us have had. And that's great. There's a lot of quite inspiring people on there, people who are doing similar things to me, people who are, you know, trying to make money as coaches, who are trying to you know, up their profile on podcasts and so on, and that's all great. These are all real positive people, and I like that. The only thing is, a lot of those people are not going to be my clients, because they tend to be the people who are already confident and are already happy with where they are. On Facebook groups, I'm on a good number of Facebook groups to do with our conditions and so on. That almost tends to be the opposite. I've found people on there generally, not everybody to be fair, but generally a lot of people on those groups are quite negative, tend to kind of only really discuss the problems that they have. We do, you know, obviously you do see people on there who are trying to give advice and trying to help people, but the majority of people on those groups, I find, are people who are struggling and you know, need support. And also, you know, there are a few people on there, dare I say, who are victims to an extent. Now, I'm not looking for people who are victims. I'm not looking for people who are inspirational and who are all sorted, who are confident, who are happy. I'm not really after those people either. I'm in between. I'm after somebody in between. I'm after that person who is, you know, a glass half full type of person. However, they're struggling with their current situation where they are at the moment, and they're the sorts of people I really want to help. And you might be one of those people. Okay, so even though this channel is here to provide value, to help people, it's also here to be completely upfront and honest. It's here for me to find my ideal client as well, for people to be listening to this and think, yeah, he's talking about me and I want to work with this guy. So I'm looking for people who, like I said, people who are struggling in their current situation, but people who do want to make a change, people who do genuinely want to make a better life for themselves and live the life that they should be living, rather than what they are living at the moment, which is, you know, they're limited by the disease that they've got, or the condition that they've got, and they're limited by possibly their own negative thoughts and other people's negative thoughts and other people's negative kind of limits that they put on them, whether it be medical staff, whether it be family members, because a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you can't do this, you can't lift that, you know, and that's not true. That's just not true. As I've kind of briefly said, you know, when I had ulcerative colitis, I was fighting as a judo athlete when, you know, once I'd had my ileostomy operation and I actually had a bag, I was training full contact with some, you know, some serious athletes, some serious customers. And then when I finally had my takedown surgery and my reversal, I was competing against, like I say, up to Olympians, and I beat an Olympian who, you know, the guy, for example, a guy I beat when I had my Jpouche, he was well, at the time he hadn't been an Olympian. He's now been a 3 times Olympian, but at that particular time, it's not like he was before his prime, because he, at that particular time, he'd already beaten a world champion, which in judo is the best guy in the world. You know, he'd already beaten a world champion. 3 months later, after I beat him, he then beat an Olympic silver medalist. So, so that was the level that I was competing at and fighting at, and I was doing that with a Jpouche. So. So it's definitely possible. You know, I was training in the gym, I was lifting weights, I was out running. I did have some difficulties with running, but that was, again, that was my own limiting beliefs more than anything. Because once I then started running, sort of later on really, once I'd retired from judo, I found actually I can run a lot more than I thought. It was just kind of conditioning myself and finding out what I couldn't do, and then just pushing it gradually as time went along. So I've lived a life where I've had to have a good mindset, and I've developed a good mindset because I didn't used to have a good mindset. I've always been strong, I've always been fit, I've always been quite talented at my sport, but I have struggled in the past with confidence. I've struggled in the past with, you know, believing in myself and stuff like that. And I've seen sports psychologists and I've seen hypnotists, and this is when I was competing. So this is before I even got ill. Now I've used some of that stuff and some of the stuff that I've learned over the last decade, probably more than a decade now, where I've literally been studying from other coaches. I've been studying from books. I've been studying online videos. I've been, you know, listening to mindset coaches. I've been listening to experts on our condition, and I've realized that, you know, that we can do a lot more than we think. And I want to be here for you, and I want you to believe that as well, that, you know, you're not at the end of your life. You know, things aren't over because you've got this condition. It can be the start of your life. In fact, some of you who haven't had the most active lives in the past, you can actually turn it around and become more active than you ever were before. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to, you know, whether it be your mindset or whether it be your physical fitness, they're not going to change overnight, but they can change. And I'm here to help you put some kind of some things in place to kind of get you to that point. So my job is to coach you on your mindset and coach you on the physical side. I can coach you by telling you maybe, or advise you what to eat and stuff like that, and I want to help you on all those, in all those different areas. And because of my experience as an athlete, as a mindset coach, I believe that I'm the person for you. I'm not cheap, and I don't want to be cheap. I don't want to be cheap, and the reason is because if you're paying, and you're paying good money for it, I know that you're going to make that change. All right, that's the problem a lot of the time. People are looking for a cheap, quick fix, and it's not how it works. Okay, sometimes you have to go all in. whether it be you need to find somebody who's serious about making a change, so you're serious about making a change, and that guy's me. You want to be paying somebody, and you want to be paying them well, because you know that once you've made that commitment, you're kind of all in, and then you're less likely, much less likely in fact, to allow yourself to fall back to where you were, and you will find a way to make that change. Okay, now for any of you who are into mindset and stuff, you may have listened to Tony Robbins. Is a guy online who I've got massive amounts of respect for, and I've got loads of information from over the years. His thing is to say, you know, in order to make the change, you've got to go all in, and you've got to be 100%. He says, if you want to take the island, you've got to burn the boats. All right, meaning that you've got to give yourself no option. All right, now this is kind of the thing, you know, if you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna maybe do it next week, I'm gonna get on it, I'm gonna start trying to do a little bit more exercise, I'm gonna see this person, you just never really get round to it, and you never do it. Or if you find somebody who's cheap, you will pay them however much, and you'll think at the end of the day, you know, oh, you know, I don't have to do it, I don't, you know, I haven't lost much. It's a little bit like when you get a gym membership. People might pay, I don't know, however much, £30 a month, or, you know, however many dollars that might be if you're in the US or wherever. You know, it's not a massive amount. It's not going to break the bank. If you don't go, you're not going to really lose out. You're all motivated 1st of January or whatever, and you pay for this gym membership, and you're all in your brain at that point. And then as time goes along, you just start to drift with your habits, and you start to kind of, you know, give yourself excuses, give yourself a way out. Now obviously, if you're paying a lot more, you will not allow yourself to do that, and I won't allow you to do that, because you know, I believe that I'm the guy who can make that change for you. All right, now that is going to cost you to do that, but it's not about the money. It's not the money, it's the result that you will be getting. I don't work for this amount per hour or that amount per hour. I work to get you a result, and I will get you a result. It's just a case of you need to make the commitment. Okay, so the idea, like I say, this channel is for me to provide valuable information, which is kind of what I'm doing now. I am providing valuable information. It's making you believe that it's possible to change your life and to have the best life possible. And you know, it's also for me, being totally upfront and honest, this channel is for me to find the ideal client who I want to work with and who wants to work with me, because I know then that we will make that change together. So so that's it for today, really. That is my second video. I hope I'm talking to you and you are my ideal client, and I hope that we will get a chance to work together fairly soon. All you need to do is just message me. You know, it's not a case of we just jump on a call and you give me your credit card details. It's a case of me getting to know what you want, who you are, you know, your background and where you want to get to, and why you want to get there, and then we can make a plan. And then if you're happy to go ahead at that point, then we can obviously make the commitment. But I'm happy to see where this leads, and I'm happy to work with people who are serious, and I'm looking forward to it. So if that's you, please get in touch. Look out for some videos later on, which will obviously I'll be putting on anyway, and you know, this is free content on here. I am on Instagram putting on little snippets of information and help. So I'm on Instagram as the Ostomy Coach. I'm on here obviously as the Ostomy Coach. I'm on Facebook, and I have got a Facebook group which you can find as well, again called the Ostomy Coach. So I am on all, you know, a number of platforms, and please look me up. You don't have to obviously get in touch with me straight away. You can just listen to some of my stuff. Like I say, it's all fairly new, so there's we're limited for what we've got on online at the moment, but you will see fairly soon that I am serious. I am good at what I do. I do know what I'm talking about. So what I would suggest is you get in there first, because you know, who knows, there might be a time fairly soon in the future where I don't have enough slots, you know, because I have got people trying to work with me. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there. I will be making another video fairly soon, and hope to see you again. Okay, so I'm Dominic, the Ostomy Coach, signing out. Cheers.